Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have my girl, the world's greatest financial planner, my girl Rashima. Look, and she's one of a very few people who just loves to talk about money just as much as I do. She, I mean, just loves to talk about money. Hold on, let me turn you off. Oh, here. Okay, we're good now. So let me ask you this. Tell the people about you and your background. I don't. Hold on, I don't hear your volume. Let me see. Hold on. Your volume. Hold on. You know what? I can't hear you, but you know what? Because we're on live. Hold on. This is how we gonna do it. Hold on. Shoot, we gonna rig this up because I can't hear you.
You went out on this story like it started like
Okay, hold on, because now you done froze on me.
Okay, I don't know if I can access it while I'm on the phone with you.
Okay. Do you have your earpiece in something?
I turned it on.
Okay, because I can hear you through the phone. So what we'll do is I'll just keep the phone on and have you talk.
Okay.
So we'll just do it like that.
Okay, so you can still hear me fine now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you through the phone, so we'll just work it like that.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so tell the people about you.
Okay, hi, I'm Rashima Mountain, and I am a financial planner and certified financial educator. I went to the University of South Carolina.
I don't hold that against her. I'm a Clemson guy, so I don't hold that against her. I still love her anyway.
My background is in accounting and investment and teaching people how to get their money together so they can have their stuff. And I've been doing it for about 16 years now.
You've been doing it for 16 years now. I'm gonna let Tony Ollie hop in here too, because she likes money too. Now let me ask you this, because I love talking about us as Black folks. I'm down for the cause. You ain't gonna get no blacker than me. So let me ask you this, because this just irritates me to no end. Why don't we as Black people talk about financial wealth, prosperity, abundance when it comes to money? Why don't we talk about that?
The number one thing that I found with people is they don't feel comfortable. They don't feel confident. Because most people, like, I didn't grow up in a household where we talked about money. I went to college and everything was about credit and getting what I can on credit. So what I found is we have a lack of knowledge, a lack of information on the subject. And, you know, a lot of people aren't willing to admit that they feel intimidated by financial matters when you can't change if you don't know any better. You can't do better if you don't know any better. So that's what I found. The number one thing is that people don't talk about money and prosperity and financial wealth because they are afraid. And you don't want someone else to look at you like you don't have it going on because you're not able to have your stuff together and be in a certain place at a certain time because you just don't know what to do.
Do you also think it goes back to pride? Also, because sometimes, and I know for a lot of people feel guilty about doing well. Do you think that might be the cause of that too, on why we don't talk about it?
I think people don't know how to handle somebody else's prosperity.
Okay.
Because of their lack of prosperity. And not knowing how to achieve it for themselves versus humbling yourself and being willing to be taught by somebody. You know, a lot of times, because my clientele primarily is African American, we shy away from helping each other because of wrong motives and intentions, because people don't feel comfortable with coming and just being honest. Hey, I need your help.
So it does go back to pride, because I'm the type of person to where I understand that there's certain things that I know, and this is where I'm at, but I do also understand that if I'm going to go to another level, I also need to know what you know.
Yeah.
So does it also go back to financial literacy and financial education?
Absolutely. That is the number one thing, financial literacy. I said we should not stop learning just because we graduate high school or college. Financial literacy isn't taught in school. Financial literacy isn't taught in 8 out of 10 Black households. And the other 2%, the other 20% that it is taught in is the basics. Go to school, get a good job, and work. So, but what do I do beyond that? How do I know what a Roth is, and IRA, and buying real estate, and what a trust is, and how insurance plays a part of my whole financial portfolio, because we just don't talk about enough.
And let me ask you this: why don't we talk about generational wealth? Why is it that we, for the most part, when we get a check, we blow it, or we don't think down the line? Where does that mentality stem from? From basically, as soon as I get it, I got to get it out of my hands. Because I was talking to a friend of mine. His name is Hank Stewart, civil rights activist. And he says, what, I was talking to this guy one time, and he said, what this guy told me? I said, what? He said, the guy that I was talking to said that he calls Black folks, he calls us, basically what he was describing was liquid money. He was like, we call y'all liquid money, because as soon as it hits your hands, it seeps on out of your hands as soon as you get it. And let me also ask you this. I was listening to Dr. Claude Anderson, and Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about how many times money circulates in different communities. Why are we afraid to spend with one another? Why don't we trust one another? In your opinion? I'm getting deep tonight.
You want my honest opinion?
Give me your honest opinion. We shoot straight here.
Because there is a lot of jealousy breeding within our community, unfortunately. Like I said, you said the right word earlier, pride. Not wanting to humble yourself and to submit to someone that is of color. And being a person of color, I think we should be a step up than other races, simply because of what we've had to go through.
Right.
But a lot of times people are intimidated by people that are confident. They call it arrogant or cocky.
Or bougie.
Right.
Or bougie.
Bougie. And it's not
bougie.
That. It's that people have worked hard to obtain, and there is a certain level of attitude that does go along with being someone that has achieved something and attain things along the way. And we do need to learn to change our mindset, because if we don't, we're going to stay stuck where we've been the whole time. You said something good about liquid money. Everything is, all the society, social media is about how much we can get out of it.
Right.
Versus, if I don't look out for myself and my kids and my grandkids, I'm going to stay in a cycle of being a consumer.
Right.
Being an investor. And that's a whole change of mind.
That's the truth, because I was also listening to Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, and what he was saying was there's a difference between being a consumer and a producer, because a producer, the person who creates products for people to buy, makes 6 to 8 times more than the person who's a consumer.
Yep.
So why are we afraid, in your estimation, why are we afraid to make the transition from being a consumer to a producer? Does it go? Let me ask you this: does it go back to how we were raised? Because if you think about it, how we were raised was pretty much like this: you get out of high school, you go to college for 4 years, get a degree, get in debt, and then after you do that, you go work for some man's corporation. Versus being taught that, hey, you need to start your own business. You need to produce products that will take you out of your situation. How in your estimation do we get out of that mindset of being a consumer to producer?
Well, this is what I tell my clients when they first come to me. I say everybody has the ability to prosper. It is a God-given gift and ability that is put in all of us to be able to produce. And like you said, we have to retrain and refocus what's really our priority, what's really important to us. And it's not going to happen overnight. How long have you been building your business?
Oh, for the past 15, 16 years.
15, 16 years. You have committed your life to your development. You have committed your life to your client's development. And that didn't happen overnight. So it would be unfair for me to start out in the same market and say, hey, I'm going to do exactly what he's doing, how he's doing it, so I can get the same revenue that he's getting. Versus I can say, hey, I graduated. I want to be able to build wealth. I want to be able to have some assets. Talk to me about what you did. Mentor me along the way to help me to get to that point and not have a false expectation that it's going to happen for me overnight, because I just think that we live an impulsive lifestyle based upon I got to have it right now. I got to look good today. But I tell people, you are already an investor. If you have any type of debt, credit card debt, student loan debt, you are actually investing.
Right.
But you're just investing the wrong direction.
Right.
You need to find what an asset is, what's going to be putting money in your pocket, like real estate, like stocks and bonds, just like you're willing to invest in Visa, JCPenney, Gucci, or whatever it is you're investing in. Take that same money and turn it around and make it work for you. It's just changing direction.
Now, I was looking at Kiyosaki stuff, and basically he was saying that on the left side of his paradigm, basically you have the you have the employed, you have the E, and then you have the S, that's the self-employed on this side. But what he was saying is basically you want to be on the other side of the quadrant, which is the B and the I, which is if you're a B, you're a business person, your business runs itself. And if you're an I, you're investing in stuff and your money is working for you. Do you think we've become slaves to brands as a culture?
We market better for brands than the people that they hire to market for them.
I agree.
We represent very well for whatever your preferred brand is. It's different for everybody. But like I always tell people, at the end of the day, they've already got theirs.
Right.
They already have theirs. Where are you 5, 10, 15 years later?
Right.
Now that you've invested all of this that hasn't put anything back in your hands, where is that leaving you? And I think people this is another thing that we can't be afraid of, is putting ourselves first.
Right.
I don't know where that mentality comes from, that we need to take care of everything and everybody else and not put ourselves first by paying ourselves first.
Right.
You need to pay yourself first. A huge portion of your salary. If you're going to be working all these hours, put some money away.
Right.
Versus I'm taking it and I'm putting it into, I'm not being recorded, Ralph Lauren or whoever. Nothing.
No, you're fine.
Making him look good. Even with like Michael Jordan, I appreciate him. Like I tell my son, I don't work for Jordan.
Right.
I don't do what I do because I work for Jordan. So why am I going to invest all this money on a monthly basis to make him wealthier? I want to have the wealth for myself.
Right. So where does that mentality come from? in terms of, I know a lot of people who buy stuff just because, in a sense, it makes them look better than other people. So it's kind of like, I'm going to buy this because I want to put myself in this upper echelon, even though I might be struggling to pay for it. How did we get there versus, say, a white person who ain't worried about the newest car, newest bag, newest this, that, and the other? Because it seems like that's kind of like a status symbol when it's actually crushing us as a people trying to keep up with the Joneses and out and overrun and run past the Joneses.
And what I think, Kenya, is I speak a lot from my own personal experience. You know, I grew up single parent household, 3 kids. We didn't have anything. You know, everything was about when income tax time came. So you knew it before you had it. My mom lived from, it wasn't credit cards back in the day, it was personal loans. And so the temptation comes in, like I said, when I got in college, I want to look good like everybody else. I'm not working, so what am I going to revert back to? Credit. Because it's so easily available, and I wasn't educated on what the purpose of credit is. Credit isn't bad.
No, not at all.
To help you and assist you to move to the next level. But because we're so consumed with people knowing that we have high earning salaries, that, you know, we've been working, we're a doctor, you know, whatever our status is, we're so more consumed with people knowing that we got something versus truly having something that people may not be able to see. And I think it just comes from the way a lot of people grew up. They were not used to having anything. So when they did get something, it was like, hey, you need to see what I got, you know, because I can have it just like you can have it too. And it became an unspoken competition, a jealousy thing in our community that I think we really, really need to work on changing.
So how do we change that? How do we turn the corner? I mean, because I was looking at a stat the other day, and it was basically saying how we as Black folks are really in fourth place, because you have the Asians who rank number 1, and then you have white folks, and then third you have the Hispanics, and then fourth was us. Well, we've always kind of, in a sense, been the second class citizens for the longest time. So the question becomes, how do we turn the corner? Because a lot of times it's always reported that we have so much spending power, but we don't spend with ourselves. How do we turn the corner to, instead of giving it away and becoming liquid money, becoming the type of person who invests and grows their money? How do we turn that around, that mentality?
I think it starts with you realizing as a person that you're valuable. I think it comes with, like, you're really good with building up the value and the personal worth of your clients, and making them feel special, making them feel like they're more than what they are. We have to do that for ourselves. Establish what my values are in life. My values are making sure that I have financial peace, I have financial organization, and that I'm financially wealthy, because I have children coming behind me, and my children are going to have children. So once I establish what my values are, I have to establish some priorities. And that's where the rubber really needs to roll. Because your priorities and my priorities may not be the same, but we may be working side by side. And you have to learn to separate yourself and be okay with what's important to you and what you need to do. Because the Joneses, they're not even broke. They don't have anything. They don't even exist anymore. Because it's an unrealistic image that we're really living up to. And we need to really see, like I said, we are valuable enough to have something and be okay with, I have something and I have the ability to generate something to pass down to the next generation. I think it's also value. I really do.
Value. So is it safe to say that a lot of times people put value in things and not in themselves. Determining self-worth.
Self-worth, yes. Yes. And appreciate, and you want other people, because things are tangible.
Right.
Self